Welcome back to Bazaar Morning Call. Well, this morning there are plenty of stocks to look at, so let's get straight to it. Our research team is standing by with the list of top 10 stocks for the day. First up, HDFC Bank on our radar. Abhishek is here to tell us why you should be watching that one. Abhishek, morning.
Morning, Sonia. So they have given a pre-quarter business update which shows that there is growth that has declined on a sequential basis, but CASA continues to decline for them, and that's an industry phenomenon that we have seen. However, LCR has improved, and they are focusing on lowering their CD ratio, which we can see in their numbers. So deposits are down 0.03% on a sequential basis. If you take a look at the industry level, deposits are down 1.65% year to date. So they have done better than what industry trend has shown. CASA ratio has declined sharply by almost 200 basis points sequentially, 36.3% versus 38.2% in the previous quarter. We have seen money moving from CASA deposit to term deposit, and there was also the elections that had played out in various states. So there might have been some hiccups in the CASA as well. Loan growth is down about 0.8% quarter on quarter. In this, the other wholesale loan now over there, management had reiterated last time that they are not getting favorable rates, and that continues to decline and impact the overall loan growth. However, the key heartening point to see is the LCR, liquidity coverage ratio. That was a concern point, and that's improved substantially to 123% versus 115% in the previous quarter. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Abhishek. Thanks a lot for joining us and helping us out with that. But you're tracking a few more of them, I believe. It's been a busy overnight for you. Tell us more about the other companies you're tracking.
Well, Nigel, 8 lenders gave out their business update, so it was a busy, evening last night. So Punjab National Bank, a strong loan growth over there. Deposits are up 2.8% sequentially. Advances growth are at 5% quarter on quarter. So their credit deposit ratio has improved substantially to 73.4% versus 70.6% on a YOY basis and 71.8% in the previous quarter. RBL Bank, now they lost out on deposits. However, they have also lost out on CASA ratio. So deposits are down 2.1% quarter on quarter, and that's higher than industry average of 1.65% that RBI has given the update. CASA ratio is at 13-quarter low of 32.5%. Advances are up 3.3%. So it looks like net interest margin may remain stable or improve on a sequential basis. Poonawalla FinCorp, a strong AUM growth over there. Disbursements are down 23.6% sequentially. That is an industry trend. Q1 does look to be on the lower side when compared to Q4. AUM growth is pretty strong at 52% YOY and about close to 8% sequentially, and they have seen improvement in their asset quality. Gross NPA ratio is below 1% and net NPA ratio is below 0.5%. Back to you.
Abhishek, if you had to pick out one winner based on the updates and one more subdued kind of a performer, 8 there, which one would those be?
Talking about subdued, ISAF SFB, massive deterioration over there in asset quality. And if you take a winner, Punjab National Bank, because despite, seeing a slower deposit growth, their advances growth have been pretty healthy.
All right, fair enough. There you have it. Abhishek, thank you very much. We'll come back to you for more because it's not done. Well, let's go across to Sonal, who's standing by now. There's Mahindra, Lifespaces, and Macrotech developers who will also be in focus. Sonal, take it away.
Well, let me start with Mahindra Lifespaces. There are 2 updates here. The company has been chosen as the preferred partner for redevelopment of some residential projects. This is in Borivali in Mumbai, and the gross development value here is 1,800 crore rupees. Secondly, they've gone ahead and acquired land, 2.37 acres situated in Bengaluru, which has a development value of 0.25 million square feet with a development value of 250 crore rupees. A lot of these companies have gone ahead and bought land in Bengaluru. It was Brigade yesterday, and before that it was Godrej Properties. For Macrotech developers, it's the Q1 update that has come out. Pre-sales are up 20% YOY, collections are up 12% on a YOY basis. Both of these numbers have declined on a sequential basis, however. They've added 3 projects in MMR and Pune, having the gross development value of 11,100 crore rupees, which is more than 50% of the full year guidance that they're given, 21,000 crore rupees. Net debt stands at 4,320 crore rupees. It is below that 0.5 times net debt to equity ratio. So that stock will be in focus as well.
Okay, all this construction in Bengaluru, right, it makes me worry, not just about the traffic, but about the erosion of green cover, right? I mean, I was just reading some statistics. 5 years ago, Bangalore had 70% green cover, and now it's less than 3%. So, I mean, it could have disastrous effects on the environment as well. Well, anyway, that's a discussion for another day. But Vivek is with us to talk about Lloyds Metals and why you should be watching that one. Vivek, over to you.
Well, good morning. Lloyds Metal is in focus. So the company is going ahead and doing a fundraise, and the route that they've chosen is the QIP route. So the base size of the fundraise that the company is looking to garner is close to 1,044 crore with an upsize option of raising up to 1,218 crore. The indicative issue price for this particular fundraise is at 696 rupees a share, which implies a little over 10% discount to yesterday's closing. What is the equity dilution? At the base size, it's a 3% equity dilution of the pre-issue outstanding share capital. And at the fully upsized deal option, it's a 3.5% dilution that the company will be doing. What is the company looking to raise the funds for? Number one, the company is planning to set up a 4 million tons per annum pellet plant at Maharashtra. And the other funds, or the remainder of the funds, will be used for general corporate purposes, going with the red, given the fact that it's a significant discount at which the QIP will be done.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Vivek. Well, going back to Abhishek then, he's got a couple of more companies that he's tracking for us. Abhishek?
Well, rural economy is in pain, and we had highlighted that in FinStreet in May of 2024. And that continues to be seen in players engaged in rural economy, especially the lenders. Ujjivan Small Finance Bank asset quality has deteriorated, and book has been largely looked like to be managed for the quality. So deposits are up 21.9% YOY and 3.3% sequentially. Disbursals are down 20.6% on a sequential basis. Loan growth is at 1% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. But if you take a look, disbursal to AUM ratio is at a mere 5.9% when compared to 30.5% in the previous quarter. Portfolio at risk, that's increased on a sequential basis to 4.3 versus 3.5, and even the gross NPA ratio is at 2.3 versus 2.1% in the previous quarter. ESAF SFB, now that particular lender continues to see massive deterioration in their asset quality. In last 4 quarters, gross NPA in absolute value has increased by 5.2 times, and net NPA has increased by more than 5 times. So gross NPA in absolute value has increased 39% sequentially. Net NPA has increased 41% sequentially. Gross NPA ratio is at 6.6% versus 4.8% in the previous quarter, and net NPA is at 3.2% versus 2.3% in the previous quarter. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Well, let's go across to Mangalam now to talk about Kalyan Jewellers. Mangalam, how did it look?
Well, very good numbers coming in this time around. In fact, the Q1 update, and this is a quarter one where, there was no festive season, there was no wedding season. And despite all of that, there was a 27% growth that the company reported in the first quarter. The India business actually reported a growth of 29%. And this was also on a high base. So, 2-year CAGR would be extremely strong. This was led by same-store sales growth of around 12%. Remember, the company has been on this expansion spree with regards to its franchised-owned stores. So in the first quarter, they've also launched 13 franchise-owned company-operated stores in India. Middle East, which contributes about 15% to their revenues, that grew about 16% as well, taking the overall revenue growth to 27%. The big triggers for them now would be the upcoming festive season, Onam, as well as the wedding season, and the new showroom launches that they have. Kalyan Jewellers has been a big mover over the last couple of years and expected to continue to be in the green in today's trading session as well on the back of a strong update.
Okay, Mangalam, thanks for that. Well, let's do a quick recap then of all the top stocks we covered for you. Stocks with positive news flow. The banking names: PNB, RBL, Poonawalla FinCorp, Mahindra, Lifespaces, Macrotech Developers, and Kalyan Jewellers. While stocks that will be reacting to negative news flow include HDFC Bank, Lloyds Metals, Ujjivan SFB, and ESAF SFB. Well, I've told you about all the stocks you need to track from the equity markets. So Manisha Gupta joins us to give us a quick recap of what's going on in the commodity markets. Hey, Manisha, good morning.
Morning, Nigel. Thank you for that. Well, this is a week that has headed strong for many of the commodities as well. Well, the dollar index almost fell below 105. The U.S. Treasury yields have seen a decline as well, and that is supportive of many commodity prices gaining. So when you look at metals as a sector, we're looking at multi-month highs for many of them. Tin is trading at a 1-month highs. You have platinum at 1-month highs. Iron ore prices at the 1-month highs as well. Copper is trading at a 2-week high. So is zinc and aluminum for that matter. So we have seen strong gains come back in the case of this week. Well, the China plenum meeting happens in this month. And ahead of that, there could be some stimulus measures coming in. Also, all of U.S. data that we have seen, whether it is services activity, jobless claims have come in on a bearish side. And that makes for a strong case for a rate cut in this current quarter itself. So that is what the markets are working with. Not just metals, crude oil prices prices also are trading at a 2-month highs, headed for a 4th weekly gain, and crude prices also are up by 3% this week. So a strong week across commodities.
Manisha, thanks very much for that. We'll take a break here. We'll have Nishal Maheshwari talking to us about various stocks and what you need to watch out for when we return. That's on the other side. Stay tuned.